Fellas, we have a special treat already to kick off the show. We've got the boy, Kazi. Say hello. The official Fellas mascot, Kazi the dog. He's here to give his hot takes. He's here to give his personal opinions. Isn't that right, Kaz? Yes, that is right. He's very excited about all the NBA free agency that's been happening. He's very excited about the Olympics. It's Team USA all the way. He's just a good boy right here. Check out this dog. Oh, yeah, you're licking my hand, but I'm trying to control the laptop, bro. So, as you can see, it'll be a big day in the Hey Fellas studio. Alright. He likes it here. So, we'll be talking NBA free agency first off. It's a big Eagles fan too. Attaboy. We'll use this for clickbait, dog. Don't you worry. We'll use this for clickbait. This big baby. Alright, looks like he's chilling right here. Looks like he's chilling right here for this show. That's good. Alright. First. Whoa, doggy. Exciting start. I now have a dog on my lap. Why don't we get into start off with some now my hair's all messed up, you silly doggy. Now let's get started. We'll start with there's a lot of cool Olympic stuff that happens. There always seems to be some sort of records being broken. Always seems to be some sort of look at my dude. Can we take a second? I don't know if anyone's popped in the chat yet, popped on the show yet, but now this dog is just sitting here with me and it's freaking adorable. Okay. Anyway, now we're starting Olympic talk. First, the women's 800 meter. We got a gold. Ladies and gentlemen, we did get a gold. A Thing Mu from New Jersey won the gold medal in the women's 800 meter race today. Finished in a time of 1:51.521. This is an American record, and the first time an American woman has won the 800 meters since Madeline Manning in the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. So it's a big deal for an American to win this event. She's only 19, so she's got a lot of time ahead of her. At least another Olympic Games in her. For now, she got that one under wraps. Bam, that's a gold in track and field. More Olympic news. Let's see what we got here. Brittany Reese, who is if you're not familiar too much in the USA track and field, she's a long-term Big time jumper, long jumper. Um, Definitely what would be considered the GOAT. This was her fourth Olympics. Um, and she won her third Olympic medal. This was a silver, though, in 2012 and 2016. She did win gold. Um, but she didn't manage to win the gold this time. Uh, so she's 34. Already said that this would be her last Olympics. She has 11 medals. She said, "I'm done after this." Um, so she still got the silver there. It was still a great jump. She was in a great situation going into it and just did not manage to capitalize completely. Morning, Jason. Welcome back to the show. Um, so still another silver for the U.S., but a little questionable for the GOAT of long jumping. Great career, great year to close out the Olympic career. Would have been great to see the gold, but we take the silvers. We also have we have an advertisement, and we have the U.S. wins another event and breaks another record. Not a record, but more of a win streak. So, I'm sorry, not the USA. Morocco actually won this. Soufiane El Bakali um, won the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase. So if anyone didn't watch that, it's a 3,000 meter run, which is just under 2 miles. And on every corner during the lap, there's a hurdle, but it's not actually a hurdle. It's like a steeple thing that you would jump over, and then a puddle of water, and you do that for almost 2 miles of jumping around. What? He wants attention. So that had been won for the last 41 years by a Kenyan. Every time in the last 41 years. That's the longest gold medal streak in any sport in the Olympics. It's finally broken today, again by Soufiane El Bakali from Morocco. Ran an 8:09.90. Ended up taking the gold there. Kenya also even missed out on the silver medal. Ethiopia won that. They managed to get bronze still, though. Are you done? All right. Doggy's done. Thank you, doggy. Thank you for stopping by. Nah, he'll still be chilling in here. That's good. The next longest active streak after this has been ended is the men's 4x4. I'm sorry. The women's 4x4 for the USA. We've won 6 straight in that. That dates back to 96. And that's now the longest active streak, so you got to keep that up. But the 4x4 is not for a couple days. More Olympic news. We've got the 400 meter hurdles. Karsten Warholm of Norway and the United States, Ray Benjamin, ran a crazy race. He ran a 45.94 for gold, which is crazy. And Benjamin came right in behind with a 46.17. So talking 0.2 second difference there. The world record was 46.70 in the race the day before. It was 46.78. Uh, Now the Olympic record is a 45.9. You have to understand, to drop zero point 0.8 seconds is insane, especially in an event like the 400. That's definitely more of a sprint than anything. Sorry, doggy wanted to leave. Definitely more of a sprint. So to drop 9 seconds from the world record is insane. Not to mention that a 46-1 lost in this one. Seems to always be in the case once a record's broken, that the person who gets second also breaks it, but they don't get any of the notoriety. But it was an insane race. To have two people going that fast is like actually unheard of. A 45.9 is insane. That's a so a 45.9 in the 400 averages out to 22.95 or whatever in the 200, which is which would be not unheard of in the Olympics around the 200. So it was an insane race. The fact they were both so close for so long, it was sick. It was really cool to see. Going a little more. Okay, so another American, and we all know her already, Simone Biles. As you know, she came back for her first event back since dropping out of the competition. Ended up coming back for the balance beam, which is one of her weaker events. She did qualify third in that, I believe. Ended up winning the bronze in the final. That's her 7th career Olympic medal. It's a good thing she got in there. Now she's tied for the most medals by an American gymnast with Shannon Miller. She actually ended up she went with a slightly easier routine, because normally she's known for super high degree of difficulty, and that's where the points get racked up. She ended up doing a slightly simpler routine, ended up with a score of 14, and that was good for third. China got the gold and the silver in this one. They absolutely killed it, but hey, shout out Simone, coming back, getting in there with a medal in an event that she's not even particularly comfortable in. Love to see it. Glad she was back. Glad she was in a mindset where she was able to compete still. All right. Let me. Okay. We also have another big time finish in track and field for Elaine Thompson-Herah of Jamaica. Last Olympics, she managed to take well, she had a 2-race sweep in her first Olympics. This is now her second Olympics, where she finished the 200 meter in 21.53, which is the second fastest 200 meter time ever ran. So she ended up beating second place by half a second, which is a huge interval in the finish for a race. And Gabby Thomas of the United States of America took third there. She's the third ever back-to-back champion in the 200. This is just huge for someone to win that twice in a row, especially in the women's. It gets so competitive, especially in this final. It had so many big names. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty. It was a fast time too, because you got to think when you hear all the records, you have to think about what they're actually saying. So an Olympic record, a world record, they mean, and obviously Olympic record has to be done in the Olympics. World record, any I guess sanctioned event. The second fastest time in history really has no other caveats except only one person's ever ran a 200 faster than that. So pretty cool. That's pretty insane. We also have. Let's see, talk about that one. In the U.S. men's basketball world, they managed to beat Spain in the quarterfinals. They're now moving on to the semifinals. Spain was no joke. Spain is the reigning basketball world champions. They have quite a few very good players. Ricky Rubio being one of them. He's been hot the whole Olympics. He was hot today. Dropped 38 points. Sergio Rodriguez, also for Spain, dropped 16. The main thing was KD was hot. Spain had a 10-point lead in the second quarter, and then the U.S. went on a 36-10 run, took control, and did not give it back up. Big deal was Kevin Durant. He was on fire. He had 29 points. Ended up beating Spain 95-81. We will play now either Australia or Argentina in the semifinals for a chance to win gold. Both of those teams are pretty tough as well. I'd say Spain is a more formidable opponent than either of them in terms of their actual roster and like their legacy. But Australia's been looking very, very good. Obviously, they took it to us earlier. And Argentina, I think. Now, I remember we played Argentina. I think we might have lost. So, they're both tough teams. Little preview for that game. When does that go off? Oh, that actually... So, that's at 8 a.m. Is that... Oh, see, I get so confused with the time. Australia... Because that might have just ended. Or... That just ended. Australia absolutely dominated Argentina 97-59. Big games from Patty Mills. Joe Ingles came in with 11. Mills had 18. Good scoring off the bench. Yeah, so we will be playing Australia. Now, that's pretty wild. I wonder what the odds look like for that. I wonder if they're even out yet. I'll have to take a look. Let's see. Is that up here yet? Olympics. USA, Australia, no spreads or totals out yet, but off the bat, the money line's heavily favoring the USA at minus 560. Australia is getting plus 370. I still don't think I would take Australia outright, despite the questions we had about the USA team coming into this. But I would say once the spread comes out, if it's that big of a that much juice in the money line, I'd imagine the spread will be pretty generous, and you might be able to make some money there. But we'll have to see first.
How's he getting?
Oh yeah, dude, he's been chilling.
Oh, it's my first appearance in the pod.
This is the elusive Yummy Foe.
Oh wait, it's not showing on the screen.
Give it a
Oh
second.
shit. Damn, this is lit.
I was chilling with the doggy. He came in.
What are you discussing right now?
We're talking a little bit USA Australia set for the semifinals in basketball.
Yeah, we're gonna get cut.
You think?
100%. Matisse on lockdown.
True. Yeah, Matisse has been on lockdown.
Guarantee that game goes under.
Joe Ingles been scoring. Yeah, the over-under's not out yet. The Argentina-Australia game just finished a couple hours ago. But we are looking at a minus 560 favorite on the USA, plus 3.7 on it on Australia.
Ooh.
So if you're like an Aussie, there's some money to be made there. Once that spread comes out, I think Australia can cover whatever it is. They've been playing really, really well.
I think it comes down to Tatum and KD.
Yeah, KD was hot yesterday. That's part of the reason we won. Drew had a good game too. Thursday we got France and Slovenia for the other semifinal. Looks like that's set to be a tight one. Slovenia a slight favorite at minus 156. France getting plus 122. Luka Magic for sure. I think you take Slovenia here. I think you take that spread if you want to. I don't know about the over, but minus 2.5.
Well, every team knows that you just double Luka, get the ball out of his hands.
True.
And then you just let the rest of the team beat you. So this is literally what they did in the Mavs.
It's true.
Yeah.
Jason says, "What's up, Yummy?"
Oh shit! Damn.
What up, Yummy?
Who's Jason?
It's just he's just one of the boys. Oh, one of the fellas for sure. Just
For sure.
always popping in the show. Yeah, so that's our Olympic news, I think. This is an interesting one. Quinn Ewers heading out to Ohio State a year early, skipping his senior year of high school. Probably a big part of this is the new NCAA rules, the name, image, likeness. He's trying to get that money. We got a dog scratching on the carpet today. It's a big day.
For sure. All right, let me get out of here before he trips a wire. All right, peace.
See you, bro.
Kazi, let's go. Kazi. Let's go.
See ya. Great guest appearance from the boys. But yeah, so Texas, he is in Texas, and there are rules about profiting off his name, image, and likeness specifically. So he said he took a lot of time for his short term, long term, all that stuff, and he decided not to compete in his senior season at South Lake Carroll High School. He's enrolling in Ohio State instead as a Buckeye. All right, so just so we know, he's not graduating college. Yummy does have a strict ban. He is not allowed in. Just kidding. He's allowed in, but he's getting close to his time limit. Now, Kazi the dog is allowed in any day of any year. So he only has one final class to earn a high school degree. He is 18. It's not like he's 17, does not have a degree. He's going to be able to get that. So don't worry about him there. And it makes sense if you're in a state that does not allow you to profit off anything in high school, and you know that you're the caliber of quarterback who's going to be going to somewhere like Ohio State, and you're going to be making money off a market the size of something like Ohio State's, then yeah, I think we're going to see that happen over and over again. They have 3 other quarterbacks on their depth chart. Jack Miller, C.J. Stroud, and Kyle McCord, and not one of them have attempted a pass in a college football game. So they're going to get somebody who does not have a ton of experience. What we'll do here, I want to get into NBA free agency, but I think we're going to go to a quick break. Here's one other thing. Before we go to a quick break, we talked about the Chicago Blackhawks sexual assault allegations from a while back against the former video coach, who apparently tried to do some things to some team members, had a history of doing some things and that he was not supposed to do, in many places he was not supposed to do them. Led to a lawsuit from a former Blackhawks player. So I did not know this, but a month afterwards, the club hired a former federal prosecutor to lead an independent review into the allegations against this guy, Brad Aldrich, and the team's reported unwillingness to inform law enforcement, because that was the big thing. The team was told about the situation, and they did not go to the police. They did not really do anything about it, but they were informed about it. However, Susan Loggins, who is the lawyer for the Blackhawks player who is filing this lawsuit, said that her client does not want to take part in this independent investigation, kind of questioning why it was being paid for by the Blackhawks. Why are the Blackhawks doing it? Would it be fair? That kind of questioning. Remember, this is a whole thing where the whole team knew it happened. Everyone was talking about it, and it still just did not change anything. The one big thing we'll see is Joel Quenneville, who was Chicago's bench boss, who is now a Florida Panthers coach, has offered to take part in this independent review, and he is, at this point, at least an external source that's not tied to the organization right now. So it'll be interesting to see what he has to say about it, see what he brings to the table as someone who was there and as someone who's independent for now. Interesting stuff. We'll see where this goes, because this is a big deal. This is whatever responsibility that the Blackhawks have to hold for this is I think a pretty good precedent on how much organizations should be expected to report things, because I think if everything reigns true about the situation, about everyone knowing about it being told to people higher up in the organization, and then a choice being made not to do anything, if that all reigns true, it's a really, really, really bad look. And you have to set some kind of precedent where the players should feel like if they have a real allegation, a real something like that, that they should be able to go and have it get heard out, and they can't have them just be ignored. So hopefully, I don't know what this investigation is going to do, though. That's the weirdest thing is, again, the Blackhawks are the one being sued. It's not the guy. The guy's already got his fair share of trouble he's in. The Blackhawks are being sued for not reporting it in the first place, and then letting him go, giving him good reviews to go coach children in high school, where, again, he got into a little bit more trouble. So it's negligence on the Blackhawks' part, and I think that's why there's a lot of questions on why the Blackhawks are conducting this private investigation. The NHL is not conducting an investigation whatsoever. So it's a very weird situation in terms of what are we even going to get out of this? Are we even going to get anything out of this? Why isn't anyone else getting into this? Someone who's independent, who isn't hired from the Blackhawks, should probably be doing it. Um, that's just in my opinion, though, and I suppose the opinion of the player and their lawyer too. But seems like something that would make sense, but for some reason not happening. We'll see if, hey, you know what? Maybe the Blackhawks are being super fair with their private investigation, and maybe it comes out and everything comes clean, and they were like, hey, we messed up. But I just feel like something about that just doesn't sound like it's gonna happen. What we're gonna know. Kick to a quick break. It's 10:32. Um, Pop back, talk NFL free agency. We had day one yesterday, and there were some splashes in made across the NBA. Everywhere you could think of, big time deals, people moving all over the place. And we'll get into all of that in a few. For now, quick break. We'll be right back, fellas. Fellas, we're back at it again. We're here. We've got NBA free agency day one. A ton of movement across the league. Let's break it down real quick right now. First up, Kyle Lowry on the move. A sign and trade to the Heat for a 3-year, $87 million deal. In exchange, the Raptors are getting Goran Dragic, the Precious Achiuwa, and a second-round pick. They're giving up two solid players. Precious is has a lot of intrigue, good prospect, could be very good. Dragic's been a big part of their team, but's also been the sixth man. Only started in some games, not most of them though. And they managed to clear up a lot of cap space by doing so. And there's a second rounder. Isn't a huge thing to lose for a player like Kyle Lowry. He's going to be their guy. He's going to be their point guard. That comes with them also extending Jimmy Butler on a 4-year, $184 million max deal, re-signing Duncan Robinson to a 5-year, $90 million deal, and also picking up P.J. Tucker on a 2-year, $15 million deal. Miami was making a ton of moves. Also re-signed Dwayne Dedman. Just made a lot of moves to get that team together as soon as they could. I think the biggest thing here, obviously, is the Lowry move. That's going to completely change their offense, having, again, a point guard of that caliber. I think he's going to fit in well in Miami. I think he's going to fit in well with the culture, and I like the way that team's coming together. I think they're going to be scary out there on the court. I think it's going to be tough, obviously, to keep up with the big dogs in the East still. Obviously, the Bucks coming off of the championship. Nets, if they're healthy. Sixers, if a lot of things work out somehow, which they probably won't. Next up, the Bulls get Lonzo Ball in a sign-and-trade deal. 4-year, $85 million for Tomas Satoransky, Garrett Temple, and a second rounder. 4-year, $85 million is not bad for Lonzo. Frankly, I wouldn't have minded getting him for that price for the Sixers. I don't think any team, for someone who's that good of that good at distributing, decent shooter. I think that the Bulls, first of all, I don't think that that he's going to be enough to get them over whatever hump they're in. Obviously, they need some big moves in-house before that whatever they do on the court's going to reflect well on the moves they're actually making, because they have a talented roster. They should be better than they are. There's problems all around that organization. But, Lonzo helps. He improves the team. His skill set's pretty unique in his excuse me. His help defense is super good. His ball distribution's super good. Not necessarily great shot creator for himself. Not necessarily a great scorer. But they've got guys like that on the team. They've got guys that they want to be the scorers. Zach LaVine needs someone passing to him. He doesn't need someone taking up more scoring volume. He needs someone to give him the ball so he can put it in the basket. But yeah, Ball's not a terrible. So he's just not. That's just not his game. He's not a scorer. He is 40% on his catch and shoot threes. He could, spot up shooter, and a good playmaker. So that'll help out the team. We'll see if Chicago can actually get over the hump with him. Yeah, we'll see. Devontae Graham is going to Detroit on a 4-year, $47 million deal, sign and trade deal for a 2022 first rounder that is lottery protected from the Pelicans. Oh, I'm sorry, not the Pistons. The Pelicans acquired. Pelicans acquired Devontae Graham, 4-year, $47 million deal, and sign and trade 2022 first rounder lottery pick for them. It's interesting for the Pelicans. The big thing was, can they get guys around Zion to win? Because he's that good of a player that they should be building a team around him while they have him on a rookie deal, while they have him in New Orleans. Because if it keeps up this way, he's gonna want out of there as soon as he can. So this is at best it's not way. I mean, he's got a different skill set than Lonzo Ball for sure, but I wouldn't say he's overall better than him, or at least not good enough to say, it was a huge upgrade or anything. It's probably very, very similar. And then they lose out on a first rounder. It is lottery protected, and they probably will be in the lottery, but still. Knicks made some moves as well. They ended up retaining a lot of guys, re-signing Derrick Rose for 3 years and a $43 million contract. Nerlens Noel continues there on a 3-year, $32 million contract, and Alec Burks on a 3-year, $30 million contract. They also pick up Evan Fournier on a 4-year, $78 million deal. This was a patient move, I'd say. This was building from the inside, not from the outside, which I do like to see. I think that it works out a lot better. I think that's how you become a consistent team at the top. Sometimes you need those splash moves to jump up quick. Sometimes you need them to get into that championship contention. I don't know if the Knicks are quite there yet, but they're playing a long game here. They're keeping their pieces around. They're keeping guys that make their locker room good. They're making the Knicks organization somewhere free agents actually want to go. I mean, because you saw, when I heard it was 2 years ago now, when Kyrie and KD, they both wanted to go to New York. They just did not want to go to the Knicks. So at this point, I think the Knicks, more so than trying to win a chip, they're trying to be a contender, trying to be a good enough team to consistently make the playoffs, maybe win series, and make it a destination that seems stable, that big name free agents will actually want to go. Moving on to Utah, the Jazz are re-signing Mike Conley on a 3-year, $72.5 million deal. Had a good year last year. The Utah offense is super efficient. His biggest thing was just he was not healthy. He's 33, 34 by the time the next season starts. He's missed games over the last 2 years with injuries. He brings a lot of value as a two-way player, and he's not a 3-year, $72.5 million deal is not too bad at all for someone like him. Obviously, the injuries and his age bring up a little bit of question, but the level he's been playing at when he is on the floor is definitely worth that contract, definitely worth that risk for the Jazz offense. The Suns make some moves to keep together their finals team. They re-signed Chris Paul on a 4-year deal, $120 million deal. Cameron Payne stays on a 3-year, $19 million deal, which is absurdly cheap I wish if he was taking something like that, I would have wanted the Sixers to get. Like, I loved Campaign. He was electric in the finals. One of the only guys that really seemed to put in the work to try to not lose to Milwaukee in that last game. They also end up signing JaVale McGee on a 1-year, $5 million deal. He's somehow still popping up, so good for him. So the big thing here is 4 years is a long time for Chris Paul, who will be 40 by the time this contract is up. There's speculation that the last year is not guaranteed. But he did end up declining a $44 million player option for the season, looking for longevity in his contract, looking for stability for the coming years. If he were to have a season that's not as great next year, he'll still have money coming in over the next 4. So, smart move by Chris Paul. I cannot believe they managed to get Campaign back at this price. Really, really good deal. He's like a 20-minute a game type of guy throughout the finals there, and he just was always there. I felt like every play. I mean, I just hammered all through the playoffs. I just hammered that Campaign points, rebounds, assists, and it hit. It just hit and hit and hit. That dog be yelling. He's yelling down there. Okay, so anyway. Yeah, the Campaign thing, very, very smart move. Good move. I'm surprised it was that cheap. The Mavericks, they re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr. on a 4-year, $74 million deal. They get Bobby back on a 1-year. They get Reggie Bullock on a 3-year, $30.5 million deal. And Sterling Brown on a 2-year, $6.2 million deal. None of these are quite big. You know, the biggest names here, Tim, they're keeping on the roster, which is good. He was a great supporting cast for Luka down there. Averaging over 16 a game, shooting like 39% from the 3. Only 29 years old. 4-year 74 is not very much. It's actually a pay cut for the first year of his new deal and the average of his new deal. By the time he gets to his 4th year, it will be more than what he's making right now. But I guess he likes it down there because he could be making a lot more than that. Reggie Bullock is a good pickup. Good wing defender. Good 3-point shooter. Just a 3-and-D type of guy that can create offense off the dribble. They're getting him at just over $10 million a year. It's a great deal. They got to do something else though if they want to get in the conversation. Luka's really, really good, but at this point in the NBA, you're gonna need at least 2 really, really good guys. The Lakers get Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, all on 1-year deals. Not much to report there. Really just trying to fill in the gaps after the Russell Westbrook trade where they lost KCP at Kuzma. So they're trying to fill in all that defensive prowess. I don't know if it was quite enough to make up for the pieces they lost. It seems like it's more of a, they have a lot of star power and they have a lot of big names on the roster, but I think it's definitely up to debate how well these pieces will truly work together. We'll see. I don't think that these moves will be enough. I think the Lakers might actually struggle next year the more I think about it. Jarrett Allen is sticking in Cleveland. The Cavs signed him on a 5-year, $100 million deal. They traded the first rounder to get him, so it seems natural that they'd want to keep him there. He's really, really good. He's a really, really good center, super strong defender, and the Cavs are sort of becoming a very good defensive team as time goes on. He's only 23 years old, and one of the best rim protectors already. We'll see what they do there, because obviously Jarrett Allen is not gonna save the Cavaliers there. But it's a good piece to keep around on the roster. Trailblazers re-sign Norman Powell, and they pick up Cody Zeller on a 1-year deal. Powell's making $90 million over 5 years. Trailblazers are capped out. They don't have much for draft capital either. The young talent isn't quite there either. So they don't really have the capital to go make a big splash unless they're trading Dame or CJ. So trying to keep Powell around is a big deal. Yeah, because if he ended up going somewhere else, they would not have been able to replace him with anyone close to his caliber. So smart move to keep him around. Moving on, Sacramento Kings re-signed Rashawn Holmes on a 4-year, $55 million deal. Seemed like someone else would get him, but they managed to keep him around, which is good. He's 27 years old, continuing to improve. We haven't actually seen his ceiling yet. I don't think. He plays well with the team, so solid move, makes sense for them. Pretty cheap on a 4-year, $55 million too. You think that they would get outbid, but they didn't. Raptors, they re-signed Gary Trent Jr. on a 3-year, $54 million deal. Interesting, because Gary Trent and Norman Powell were traded for each other, and now they're both making almost the same amount of money. He started off a lot stronger in his Raptors tenure than he ended it, but he was still shooting almost 40% on threes, on nearly 6 3-point attempts per game. Dropped 44 in a game, has a lot of potential. Nets re-signed Blake Griffin. Nothing out about the actual deal yet, but the one thing I have to think is they need other pieces. They blew up the team in the Harden trade, and they haven't fixed it since. They haven't done what they need to do to make it an actual team again. They are still too thin. I thought that they'd maybe try to make a splash with some just more role player-y guys. They don't nothing big. They just need some guys to come off the bench. I don't know. They didn't end up doing that. We'll see. Obviously, this is day one, but still, a lot of names off the board now. The Nuggets re-signed Will Barton on a 2-year, $32 million. JaMychal Green on a 2-year, $17 million. Austin Rivers on a 1-year deal. And they pick up Jeff Green on a 2-year, $10 million deal. Just keeping a lot of their guys around. They had a good year last year. Assuming Jamal Murray is healthy, they're right back where they left off. Bulls pick up Alex Caruso on a 4-year, $37 million deal. They definitely need defense, especially on the ball handler, the whoever's actually running the plays. They really need someone like Caruso, and they got someone like Caruso. Right there, a efficient 3-point shooter, doesn't shoot a lot, but he makes a lot. He'll be a big help for the Bulls. Again, they need to make some changes besides the players before they're going to be really, really good, but they're making the right moves. Stuff that should work out if they were, say, a more organized team, perhaps. Pistons, they get Kelly Olynyk on a 3-year, $37 million deal. Corey Joseph on a 2-year, $10 million deal. And Trey Lyles on a 2-year, $4 million. A lot of low risk, low money type signings. But they're veterans. They know what they're doing. And they're just trying to surround Cade Cunningham with some players. I think it's smart to get these older guys, to get these guys with, high basketball IQ, been around the league for a while, surround Cade, because you know what? No matter what Detroit did, they're probably not gonna be in much contention for anything this year. So I think these kind of moves make sense. Get them acclimated, put them with players who will make plays. They don't have to win every game. They just got to get settled. Make it a destination where people might want to go. Maybe make their culture good. So yeah, very affordable deals. I think smart move by the Pistons. The Pacers re-signed T.J. McConnell. Unfortunately, I really wanted to get the boy T.J. back to Philadelphia, but Pacers kept him. Pacers saw his value. 4-year, $35 million for T.J. Torrey Craig also going in there on a 2-year, $10 million deal. McConnell's not. It's a lot for someone who's not starting, but he just brings this energy off the bench. He's electric off the bench. Just hounds whoever's bringing the ball up for the extent of the court every time. Forces turnovers. A lot of just kick out looks when he can drive, penetrate, and kick it out. 54% of his mid-range jumpers, too, he's hitting, which if you've seen, he has this way of doing them that's just something else. I like TJ a lot. I wish we could have grabbed him back, but, you can't have everything. Torrey Craig is also a good one. Not a great offensive player necessarily, but good for certain defensive matchups. Spurs get Doug McDermott on a 3-year deal. Zach Collins on a 3-year deal. It's okay. Don't really know why. I don't know what the Spurs are doing at this point, and these moves did not answer any of those questions at all. Rockets get Daniel Tice and David Nwaba, which is pretty solid for the Rockets. They have a lot of problems. They're doing very poorly. The Rockets are going to need it. Solid pickups, good players, not bad on the deals, affordable, but Rockets need to do a lot of work. The Bucks re-signed Bobby Portis. How can you not, after hearing all of Milwaukee chant Bobby? Glad he got to stay. Basically, they couldn't afford. Obviously, they're probably thinking that's very, very cheap for someone who just played like he did, and that's true. Basically, I think he wanted to stay. They wanted to keep him, but they can't afford much more than that. So by signing him on a 2-year, they can get his early bird rights going into year 2, and then he can opt out and sign with the Bucks for more money in a long-term deal. So lucky for the Bucks, he was willing to make that sacrifice. Good for Bobby that he thinks he can. He trusts the organization enough that he thinks he can stay and still get a long-term deal next year. Clippers re-sign Nicholas Batum. Makes sense. Warriors pick up Otto Porter on a 1-year vet minimum. Really good deal there. Otto Porter, I'm surprised he was only getting a 1-year vet minimum. Obviously, the question is his health. Can he stay on the court? Hasn't really much in the last 3 seasons, but he's a great 3-and-D wing player. Golden State's going to be tough again, unfortunately. They're back to where they were before. We're with the same boys now. It's the Warriors. They're back. Clay, I really hope Clay's healthy. I know it's probably gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be hard to come back after that long with that many injuries, but hopefully he can get back to where he was at. That's the NBA free agency roundup. A lot going on, so we'll kick it to a quick break and then come back with the MLB picks for the day. Fellas, we're back. Looks like the studio rules are being broken.
Fuck you, Eric. Fuck you and your boat.
Yummy Foe live, chair pulled up in the studio.
Mid-work ting.
Yep. The remote office coming up to the remote studio briefly.
What we got?
Just gonna get into some MLB picks.
But
if you wanna talk some NBA moves?
Yeah.
Just finish up with those. I'm gonna start here. I'll pull them because I had them all right here. I think
Lonzo.
the Lonzo move is interesting.
Huge.
Yeah. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing.
Yeah. Though they are. Chicago also signed Caruso.
Yeah, they got Caruso as well.
2 point guards, but I think Caruso's like a combo guard.
Yeah, and they'll probably just like him off the bench just for his D anyway.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do with Kobe White?
Dude, I don't know what they're gonna do. Period, man. I think they're making moves, but it's not gonna be. I mean, they're still gonna beat the Bulls.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be the Bulls. They have so many problems in their office. This is what I was saying. They have so many problems front office. Like, no matter what they do, they need to make it so it's a better destination for people that actually want to go first.
Yeah.
They need to have a consistent team. Maybe this will do it, but
Shout out to Lonzo cashing out. He deserved it.
yeah, it's
If Lonzo can fix his jumper, why can't Ben Simmons? That's all I have to say.
great question. No answer.
Yeah.
The Sixers were quiet.
Yeah.
Re-signed Furk.
For how much?
I don't actually know. That wasn't even in this. I don't even. But they didn't. I saw that yesterday. They signed him for 3 year, $15 million.
Oh,
I'm cool with that.
It's not no Shake Milton deal, but
No shake deal. I'll keep him around for $5 million a year.
nobody else wants him.
Nobody else wants
Was
him.
he a 38 3-point shooter?
Yeah, something like. You know. He's good.
Oh god.
What do we get him for?
He had a good game too. Or game one. He had a good game one.
Yeah.
He hit some threes in the
I
game.
think he was kind of invisible after that, though.
Yeah.
Who's still available after day one?
Lowry.
Nah, he's in Miami.
Is already done?
Done.
Sign and trade?
Done deal. Sign and trade. What was it? A 3 year. That's the first one on here. They extended Jimmy Butler. Miami made huge moves, but a sign and trade 3 year, $87 million deal.
Oh, wow. Precious is gone.
Precious is gone. Dragic is gone.
Wow. That's crazy. My boy Tyler. I'm a huge Tyler Hero fan.
Yeah.
Huge, bro. Huge.
They re-signed Duncan Robinson too. Kept him on the squad. Gave Jimmy the big deal. Picked up PJ Tucker as well.
Whoa. On top of his, 4 year 150? He had a 4 year 150, right?
I think it was up.
Yeah.
Because or it might have had it might have been a team option at the end, something like that. Yeah, so Miami made the biggest move so far.
Wait, they signed PJ Tucker too?
Yeah, they picked up PJ Tucker.
Wow. PJ Tucker's like, fuck you, Milwaukee. Like, I got my ring, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hang out in fucking South Beach. That's crazy.
Who's left on the board now? Get out of here, Discover. I'm not buying your product.
Steph's deal's going to be huge. His extension. I think that was 4 years or 5 years, something like that. 214. It's crazy.
Who's still left?
I think Steph should take a pay cut, though.
Yeah, I think he might need to just to get that team back.
Yeah.
But they still made made some good moves. So Kawhi's on a player option, but we know he's staying.
Yeah.
He declined it, but he's looking to get a new deal done
I can
with
see
the
John Collins
Clippers.
leaving.
Yeah, me too.
Someone send him a bag.
For sure.
Conley agrees to take the Jazz.
DeMar.
Still. Lakers?
That's the Lakers thing you've been hearing about, right? Even after I thought that wouldn't have happened after the Russ move. Bro, if they have DeMar.
Do you honestly talk about how that's going to work?
Eric liked it, I didn't.
No, I don't like it at all.
Dude, I think it was on the Pat McAfee show. He's like, all right, you think him Him and LeBron got together at LeBron's house and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna pass each other the ball, right? Yeah, yeah." Like, come on.
Well, like before all they signed all those vets. Like that was like the first move they made.
Yeah,
And
because they got rid of all their players.
And it like when you have LeBron as your best 3-point shooter, that's a bad sign.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. Is he the best 3-point shooter on the roster? And the answer is probably yes. If they pick up DeMar's not really any better at 3-point shooting either than LeBron. They're going to have, if they pick up DeMar and they're starting Russ, DeMar, LeBron, AD, and I still don't know who to put
so bad
down low with him. But yeah, and it's gonna be some old school basketball.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think is they might just be able to bully everyone.
Running gun,
yeah.
Too.
But
twos.
I don't know if that's gonna work. I think they could win regular season games, but like you can come up against so many pesky teams.
And is Russ okay with like not being the best player on the team?
Probably not.
Or is he okay with not averaging the same numbers he used to before?
I don't know. It's like, and maybe he is now, but what happens if they're 15-20 somewhere down the road? A little bit of stroke, a little bit of contention in the locker room. He's like, all right, give me the ball. I'm Mr. Triple Double.
Yeah. And Russ is just like all out in the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the Lakers not.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Dennis Schroeder, still an unrestricted free agent.
Sixers.
Could be. I wouldn't mind it.
It would be really good for us.
Yeah, it would be great.
The dude is so like snake-like, bro. He just gets to the cup and lays it in.
Yeah.
Embiid could never block his shot.
Never. I like him a lot. I think I don't think he was being fully utilized in LA either. I think he can really shine somewhere else.
Trez.
True. Yeah, dude. I think Washington's gonna be pretty solid, man. It was a good move to get Westbrook out of there because I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know how much he was helping that team.
Yeah, but like, what are they still now? Like, they're still the 7 or 6 seed.
Yeah, but they're yeah, absolutely. But I think they're a lot more fun to watch of a 6 seed.
Capital One Arena.
Yeah, no cap. What was the
Spencer Dinwiddie? That's interesting. Coming off the injury, he almost came back. If he was close to coming back off the ACL.
True. Oh, what was?
Yeah, Rashawn Holmes coming back. Kelly Oubre, sexy Kelly Oubre. Great eyes, so beautiful.
And unrestricted free agent, so.
I don't know. His shot is brick though.
True.
Reggie Jackson. I don't see the Clippers signing him back. I mean, he was a huge part for that team once Kawhi went down.
I don't think they're going to shell out the money. I think he'll get money somewhere else. Laurie Marketing is one of the more interesting ones.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, Laurie Marketing, you can walk. If
neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
If someone sends him a bag, but like, is he like that worth it? I think he's just all prospect at this point.
He is all prospect. I think if the Bulls are smart, they let him walk.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those guys. He's gonna command way more than he's worth, and 3 years from now, it's either gonna be what was that deal? How is he on this contract? Or it's gonna be like what a steal.
Laurie Marketing is the same thing as Dragon Bender.
Yeah.
Just a tall white boy who could shoot.
Dude, he's just gonna be Kristaps in 5 years.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Still a question mark.
Yeah.
Still, like, is he even a guy?
I don't know how the Mavs could actually offer a trade package to get rid of Porzingis. After his performance?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. If they wanted to get rid of him, his value is way lower now.
They would have to pay.
They would have to pay.
Yeah. The time is now for Luka before he gets absolutely paid.
True.
But they have a terrible team around him.
And they did not do much. They re-signed Tim Hardaway. Didn't really pick up anyone else.
I'd be mad if I was Luka. Look at him balling out in the Olympics.
I know.
With fucking Serbian scrubs. Well, they're not scrubs, but like they're
pretty solid. Yeah. It's fun, dude. The players from the other leagues, man. Yeah. They're tough.
But you like ever notice like NBA scrubs are actually balling?
Yeah. Yeah. The one guy just gets like 8 minutes a game, and the NBA is like absolute stud for Iran or whatever. Yeah.
He's absolutely fucking playing.
He's
like
balling
LeBron.
out, dude. He's absolutely balling out. Oh, there is some. Oh, dude. Suns got campaign back on this ridiculous deal. I was
Wait, cheap?
so cheap.
Oh no, Cameron Payne should have got paid.
I know.
I
We
feel
should
bad
have
for that
got,
guy.
dude. We should have got. I would have loved to see that guy in Philly. 3-year, $19 million deal.
Dude, he's robbed. They robbed him.
Absolutely robbed.
He gets great minutes. Great scoring off the bench.
Insane. What is
His journey's insane too.
Yeah. And one of the only sparks on the Suns in those last 2 games against the Bucks. One of the only sparks on the entire team playing 20 minutes a game.
Think about it. He was like Russell Westbrook's dance partner on the bench. Should be in 6 man for the Suns.
Yeah. Man,
It's a steal.
it is a steal.
Suns are trying to run it back.
They are trying to.
Yee.
Interesting. That's what I was like. He's still.
They didn't have a
popping
backup
around,
center.
Huh? Yeah.
Dario was a huge loss.
Dario was, bad. What's he still?
He's gonna be out for a long time.
I don't know how long is he on here. He's on a.
Wow, what a steal!
Yeah, that's not bad. So they still got 2 years left on that.
Yeah. He's gonna be out the whole year though.
Yeah.
ACL right in the finals. Yeah, he can't come back. That's what happened to Clay. But then Clay,
Dude.
I can't wait.
Do you think Clay comes back at even like 90% of where he was before?
No way. He hasn't ran a game in 2 years.
Yeah.
Wait, did PG come back strong after being out for 2 years?
I wouldn't say strong. He had to get the ball rolling, but he got back eventually. I don't know.
You think the Warriors are win now?
Yeah, I think they are. They
have the team to win now. No.
We'll see how the their draft picks pan out.
Oh,
They got Otto Porter as well, which is
for a vet min.
Yeah, it's a good. It was a great move for the Warriors because on a vet min, obviously the question isn't his ability, like it's whether he can stay on the court, and so to get him on a low risk contract like that.
He's been hurt, right?
Yeah, last 3 seasons he's been missing time.
Batum, I hated Batum. I thought he was just so bad. Like all the gimmies, like 3-pointers that he should have made, he missed. Bobby Portis, Bucks. I love Bobby.
That's an interesting one because that's basically the most the most the Bucks could offer is that 2-year $9 million.
We got paid by New York.
Yeah, the idea I think here is they take him for a year, get his early bird rights, and give him a big one next year.
Daniel Tice. Wow.
Rockets are gonna be dog water.
Yeah. We'll just let Jalen Green get Rookie of the Year. Dougie McBuckets. All right. Just 2 white boys for the Spurs. Seems about right.
Yeah, right.
TJ McConnell. Let's go, TJ. TJ got paid.
He got paid.
Let's go, TJ.
They like him there, dude. I really wanted him back, but that's too expensive.
The JJ Redick podcast with the Karis LeVert.
I don't think I saw the one with Karis.
They talked about TJ, how like his influence is just like that, like the reason they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So all like the dog work that TJ does, and like great locker room guy, he deserves that. Torrey Gregg's alright. Kelly Olynyk, how is this man still in the league? Trey Lyles, what are you doing, Pistons?
Just a bunch of old guys.
Jesus. How is Cade and what's that dude's name? Their point guard they just drafted. Oh. Fuck.
Who, the Pistons did?
Yeah, they just drafted a point guard last year from overseas.
Oh
Lefty
yeah.
Lefty point. Where's his name? Because all I remember is at the draft, he had the hottest girlfriend there. That's all I remember about this point guard. I can't even remember his name. I just know he had a hot girlfriend. It's alright though. Yeah. Spinning a bag out here. Alright, you got your picks right. I think that I'm holding.
Yeah, we'll do that. We gotta get the MLB picks out. Let's.
I no help with that.
Jason's hype for the Yummy Foe. Exclusive.
Alright, I gotta get back to work.
Alright, go get him, Tiger.
Later, fellas. Fuck you, Eric.
All right, fellas. We'll get it rolling now with some MLB picks on the day. Sticky notes on the ready. Let's just see real quick. Okay, let's get it kicked off. First game, Phillies playing the Nationals in Washington. Phillies are the favorite on the road, getting minus 172 on the money line. Nationals plus 144. Over under set at 8. Zach Wheeler, the ace, starting for the Phillies. And Corbin for the Nationals. Wheeler, as we all know, great pitcher. 2.45 ERA, 1.02 WHIP. It's been a little bit more shaky as of late, but still, he's still that guy. Corbin, on the other hand, 5.78 ERA, 1.47 WHIP. Been struggling a little bit more in the last few. Off the bat, I don't necessarily want to take the Phillies straight up. I will say partly on account of the juice, just the minus 172 for the Phillies on the road is never something you really want to look at. And the minus 1.5, plus 104 is tempting. But again, Phillies on the road, and they managed to win it yesterday. So it's kind of, I'm avoiding that aspect of the game. However, I do think that maybe Phillies team total. So right now the team total is set at 4.5 for the Phillies. The overs minus 106. I kind of like that. I'm gonna jot it down for now because I think team total over. I don't hate it. I'm going to do a little bit more into Corbin pitching stats. So, Patrick Corbin, normally good for 5 innings, we'll say. Let's see. Last 3 has been about 5. Yeah, up to 6 if he's doing well. Sometimes a little less, but we'll call it a good 5. In those 5s, he's been 4, 5, 6, 2, 6. So in 5 innings, he's been almost letting up that team total over itself. Phillies bats, obviously, you can't love them on the road, but I think that's part of why this bet isn't such a bad value, because obviously the pitching for Washington isn't crazy. And the Phillies bats have been working. We saw it yesterday. They did manage to win with 11 runs. I'm going to take that Phillies team total over there. I like that a lot. Moving on, we've got... I'm going to slide this out of my face. Someone's doing some work out there. Someone's sawing out there. That's good. Next game of the night, we have the Baltimore Orioles going to New York to play the Yankees. Wells starting for the Orioles, Cortez starting for the Yankees. Yankees huge favorites even after getting battered around. Did not see that one coming yesterday. Minus 270 for the Yankees, plus 220 for the Orioles. Over under set at 9.5. First of all, I hate it. Cortez is coming in now that oh my goodness. Garrett Cole tested positive for COVID. So the Wells pitching stats looking like a 5.28 ERA, 1.7 WHIP, been about the same in his last 3. Let's see here, because they don't have Cortez's stats listed. He's not listed a lot of places, but he is going to be starting for the Yankees in absence of Garrett Cole. Nestor. See how he's been looking. So his last few 5-2, 4-3 innings pitched, allowed 3-3-2 on hits, 1 run, 3 runs, 0 runs, 1 run. Interesting. So, not necessarily gonna get shelled, but nothing great. I'm eyeing that under right now. I'll look real quick at who the Orioles have going up. Alexander Wells. He's a 5.2 ERA, 1.7 WHIP. Alright, so Cortez is actually a really good pitcher. Never mind, I did not read those stats correctly. He's looking very good. Let's see, in his last... Alright, he's only started 4 games this season. Over those, he's let up 4, 3, 2, and 0, 1 runs. Typically, first 2 games he pitched for 2 innings. Then after that, he was pitching for 5 innings. He has been pitching a lot more in July, was striking out a lot more in July, was also letting up more runs in July. Just more volume, it seems like. I kind of like, let's see. I think for the most part, when it comes down to it, I'm going to leave this game alone. But if I had to do something, I would say something like, this is the wrong. I would look at maybe a first 5. What's the run line? Yeah, maybe a first 5 minus 1.5. But yeah, I hate the 1.5 there. Do you do first half just Yankees straight up minus 180? I'm going to write this down. I don't think I'm actually going to take it, but out of all the angles, I do like the first 5 under. Plus 100, under 5.5. Just because the Yankees were shaky yesterday. Now they're putting out a really good pitcher. I don't think Baltimore's going to go crazy again. And just with all that in mind, I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring, at least off the bat. Once we get into the bullpens, we'll see. But I like the first 5 under there. Next up, the Indians go to Toronto playing the Blue Jays. Plesac pitching for the Indians. Ryu. Eric needs to be here to tell me how to pronounce it. Did you know he went to Japan? They are the favorites at home, minus 210. Indians getting plus 176 on the road. Over under set at 9. Plesac's a 4.26 ERA, 1.1 WHIP. Very similar numbers in his last 3 as well. Ryu coming on 3.26 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. He's been pitching really well lately, though. This is a tough one because I think I like stuff in the first 5 here favoring Toronto. It just seems like he's a little bit too. It's gonna be juiced. It's gonna be juiced out of this world probably. With the Blue Jays hitting at minus 210 right now. I don't quite. I'll have to look at the first five stuff here. Um, I don't. Man, it's just also juiced on Toronto. Um, I went with the under yesterday, and that did hit. I don't. I think that the. I actually like Toronto -1.5 here at -135. Keep it simple. They have a better pitcher. They have better bats. They should win by 2 or more. -110 at a pick 'em price. I like that. Might not actually play on day, but that's my lean for this game. We'll look obviously a little more into it later on. Next up, we got the Red Sox taking on the Tigers in Detroit. Garrett Richards pitching for Boston. Willie Peralta for the Tigers. Over under set at 10. And the Red Sox are the favorite on the road at -145. I have to look here because the Red Sox obviously are a much better team overall than the Tigers, but Tigers have been hot lately. Red Sox aren't as good as they are at home as they aren't as good away as they are at home, but they're still about as good as the Tigers are when they're at home. So take that with a grain of salt. Looking at the pitching, if I can, where is it? Here it is. Richards has a 5.15 ERA, 1.66 WHIP. Peralta with a 3.64, 1.11 WHIP. Both have been struggling a little bit in their last very, very comparable pitching stats. Which is making me want to go Boston off the bat. My thoughts are immediately going to Boston. Let's see here. I want to see, get a little more on, a little bit more on the pitchers here. Garrett Richards does have a mustache. Typically goes for 5. Has been lining up 4.4325. Okay, so now we know what to do. Maybe. I think the Tigers might be able to take advantage of Garrett Richards early on. And Willie Peralta he has also been lining up a good amount of runs as of late. A first five over might be in order. Let's look at the odds on that, because I also might just like the Tigers team total over with the way that the Red Sox are being favored here. But I trust the Red Sox bats more. So, dang, DraftKings is, I don't know if it's just me, but my DraftKings is absolutely wilding right now. It is not working. So, we're rolling with FanDuel for now. Shout out FanDuel for actually working right now, even though I am more of a DraftKings guy. Total runs is at 5.5 right now. It's kind of steep, but I could see it. Dang, that's unfortunate. On you can't see the first 5 team totals, but I think I like the game over for the first 5 anyway. just because I think one of these pitchers is going to let up 3 or 4. I don't know which one, and then hopefully we just fill that in. Where's our over Boston, Detroit? What's that at right now? That's at minus 110 right now. I like that. So we'll keep that there for now. Again, always going to do some more research after the show, but initial leans, I don't have anything to dislike about that. So we've got those 4 down. Now moving on. Mariners, Rays. The Rays are at home in Tampa Bay, getting minus 164 on the money line. Mariners on the road plus 138. Over unders at 8.5. Kikuchi starting for the Mariners. Patino starting for the Rays. Similar pitchers. Kikuchi's got a 4.0 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. Patino's a 4.26, 1.117. Only difference here is the last 3, Kikuchi has been struggling a lot more. Let's see. In his recent starts, typically he's gone for at least 5 up to 7 innings. Has let up 4, 3, 7, 5, and 1. He's going to be a pretty high volume pitcher though. Dang it. I don't know. Man, of course FanDuel is wild now too. Every time I hit one game, it clicks on the one above it. I don't know if that's a me problem or a them problem. I don't know. I'll blame them. Kikuchi's over under strikeouts is at 6.5. I don't hate that. His last 5, he went 7, 12, 7, 5, and 6, but he's been striking out more and more. Let's see a little bit. Okay, so he's pitched a lot. So through July, 7, 12, 7, 5, 6, then 6, 6, 6, 8, 5, 3, 8, 11, 7. I don't know if that's worth the lean there. But definitely something I'm considering is that strike over. He has been hot lately. Patino, on the other hand, pitching 3 to 5, a little bit. A lot of variety there. Has not pitched a lot. Had a big break between May and July. I don't necessarily like this game at the moment. I kind of like... It's tough. I'm gonna have to look. What's the over under at 8? Oh, see, I think that 8 could go way over. Yeah, that's the angle I like there. I think this game goes over. I think both those guys are susceptible to runs. And over 8, they both teams have bats too. You got the Rays are the 4th best scoring team in the league right now. And boy, the Mariners love letting up runs. I'm going to take the over 8 here. Jeez, everything is just going crazy right now. 8.5 on FanDuel. It's at minus 105. Not bad at all. So I don't mind that one. We'll see. Moving on. Now we're moving past Mariners Rays to Twins of Minnesota with Kenta Maeda starting, going to Cincinnati to play the Reds. Male starting as their pitcher. Reds are slight favorites at -126. Over under set at 9. I know if Eric was here, he would say a lot of things about the Twins. Probably a lot about Kenta Maeda as well. Kenta Maeda has been playing better in his last 3. Male's still give him the nod for the start, though. So Cincinnati, slight favorite. Might just lean on them there. Perhaps like a first 5. I like the Reds. First 5 -0.5, I think. That's at +108 right now. Looking at first 5 angles, that seems to be the most profitable. Wow, why is DraftKings so broken? Come on, DraftKings. Give me. You gotta tell me the numbers, man. Okay, here we go. We're in Cincinnati, where they're averaging 11 per game. The over is slightly favored. The Reds have been batting pretty well. They are 3rd in the MLB in home runs. I'm sorry. They are 8th. The Twins are 3rd, both averaging over 4 runs a game. They also are letting up quite a few. What's the over at right now? This might just be an over as well. What a mess. Everything's broken. Why is... Anyway, 9. 9's a little steep. Let's see. Kenta Maeda has let up 1, 3, 3, and 0 in his pitching. Gone 6, 7, 5, 5. Let's see what he's been doing lately. Tyler Male, that's how you say it. I don't know. Recently has been pitching 5 to 6 innings, not letting up very many runs as of late. I'm gonna stay away from this one. I'm not seeing anything jump out. This is I'm really trying to force this on. I don't like it. I'm gonna stay away from the Twins Reds game. If anything, might just like the Reds straight up. I'm gonna try to write that down because it's decent value right now. Reds straight up at -124. Next up, the Mets are going to Miami to play the Marlins. Walker starting for the Mets. Doesn't seem like the Marlins have a pitcher announced yet. Mets are heavy favorites, -145. Marlins getting +130. And the over-under set at 7.5. Probably going to stay away from this one until we know the Marlins pitcher. But for now, that's a skip. Don't want to learn my lesson about betting on games. Trying to beat the pitcher news in and try to steal a little. No, doesn't work. The Pittsburgh Pirates with Kranick going against the Milwaukee Brewers at home. Hauser pitching for the Brewers. Brewers big time favorites at minus 225. Pirates getting plus 188. Over under set at 9. Let's dive into some pitching stats, shall we? All right, so our guy Max for the Pirates has pitched 4 games, started 4 games this year. He's gone 5-3, 3-5. Has allowed 3, 4, 6, and the last 3 didn't allow any in this first. Had a very impressive 5-inning no-hitter in his first start, and then has not done that since. Not a great pitcher. Susceptible for some runs. He's a 7.3 ERA, 1.6 WHIP. Then what else do we have? Oh, and then Hauser for the Brewers. Let's see. He was pitched a lot this year through July. Went for 5-2, 4-6, 5-6. So typically 4 to 6. Looks like a couple in there where he only does 2 or 3, but most of the time it's 4 to 6. Has actually not let up many runs as of late. 0 in his last 2, then 4-3, 1, 4-5, 2. I gotta say, it's a 3.69 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. This might just be one. Once the Brewers, this is the Angel. They don't even. I'm not clicking that game, dude. All right, there we go. This is crazy. Technology is against me today. First half, Brewers minus 205 for the first half. This is tough. This is not an ideal. Just because you have the Brewers are coming out as the better team with the better bats and the better pitcher to start. So you're looking at angles to try to get that. Maybe it's just to cover. Maybe this is a sneaky game for the Pirates. Let's see here. I think the Brewers win this one, but we'll take that money line and we will find something to parlay with it. Maybe we go that with the Toronto one because I don't see Toronto losing again either. I think if they lose that would be wild. So maybe a Brewers Toronto parlay. Something like that could work. Next up we got the Angels Rangers. Suarez pitching for the Angels. Lyles pitching for the Rangers. We're in Texas. Rangers getting plus 108. Angels minus 126. Over under set at 8.5. Let's see here. Where is my... Okay, here's the pitching sheet. Suarez is a 3.45 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. Has been a 5.79 in his last three, 1.21 WHIP. Lyles, on the other hand, a 5.04 ERA, 1.4 WHIP. It's about the same in his last three as well. It's been on a bit of a win streak, though. And an under streak. I actually just might like the under straight up in this one. Why did I not think about it? I don't know. But under 8.5 is tempting here. I just seeing him yesterday really makes me question whether or not that'll hit. I think we go... I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to dive a little more into it. Angels lost 4 of their last 5. Rangers are on a 3-game winning streak. Took the Angels yesterday. They didn't do it. But it might be worth taking them again today. I'm going to barely lean Angels just because that money line at 120 minus 126 is not bad. But certainly not one of my favorites on the day. Alright. How to just mark some things up. The sticky note knows all. The sticky note has all the information. Moving on. Excuse me while I'm trying to scoot up here. Moving on to our 8-11 game. The Kansas City Royals going to Chicago to play the White Sox. White Sox heavy favorites in this one at minus 255. Dylan Cease for the Sox. Bubic at the starter for the Royals. Minus 255 for the White Sox, plus 210 for the Royals. Over under is set at 9. What do we do with this, though? What do we do with this? Take a look at the stat sheet on these guys. Bubic is a 4.58 ERA, 1.46 WHIP. Cease is a 4.14 ERA. Very similar in their season, very similar in their last 3. I don't see a lot to go off of the... There's not a lot of difference in the starting pitchers in terms of those stats. But if you look... See. So Dylan Cease typically goes 5 to 6. And let's let up 3-3-3-2. Okay. Now this is something I can work with. Oh, man. The Royals might even win this game. I can't believe Braxton's not here for me to be saying this, but this is a spot the Royals could steal. I don't think that's the bet I'm going to make. Let's just look at Bubic too while we're doing this. Because Cease giving up. He's good for 2 every time. Let's see what that first 5 over is at, because that is what I'm absolutely what I'm eyeing right now. The turtle, see if over, Oh, here we go. All right, we got the Kansas City first 5 over 1.5 at -110. That's money. That's a big one right there. That is absolutely huge. I love that one. I truly love it. That's might be my favorite pick so far on the day. Quick water break. Delicious. Deer Park brand. Alright, moving on. Getting towards the bottom of the slate for today. The Atlanta Braves going to St. Louis to play the Cardinals. Fried starting for the Braves. Lester starting for the Cardinals. Braves slight favorites at -130. Cardinals getting +110 at home. Over under is set at 9. Let's take a look at some pitching stats as we do. Or at least, there it is. Okay. Lester coming in with a 5.2 ERA, 1.59 whip. It's been a lot better in his last 3, though. Same to be said about Fried, and 4.32 ERA, 1.34 whip. Has also been doing better in his last 3. Let's take a look here. DraftKings is pissing me off today. Let's see how Max Fried's been doing. He's been pitching 5-7, 5-7. So he goes for 5 or 7. He's allowed 2.4036, 9-7. Okay, it's 5 to 6 strikeouts. And then Lester for the Cards. Let's see what he's been up to. Pitching 5-7, 2-3. All right, he's all over the place. Susceptible to let up a ton of runs, but also had one really good game against Miami. Weird. But he's all over the place. I just like the Braves straight up here. Let me just see. As long as we're looking at the okay. So I think I'm just leaning the Braves straight up here. -120 has been a money line I like favoring. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're gonna outscore the they're gonna outscore the Cardinals, and I think Max Fried's gonna be a better pitcher. I think we just take Atlanta money line at -126 at the moment. Not bad. We are now moving on to the back of the sticky note as we get to the last picks for the day. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah. we're looking at Cubs Rockies in Colorado. Colorado Rockies are slight favorite at -144. Cubs getting +122. Over under set at 11. Freeland pitching for the Rockies. Davies pitching for the Cubs. That over under is at 11.5. Holy moly. Jeez, I don't. What are people taking that? If people are hammering that over, that is an immediate under for me. I'm just like, that is crazy that it's a. I mean, what are the odds on it? Over 11.5 is -104. Unless these pitchers could just be dog water, but 52% of the money on the over, so not a hammer, but certainly getting his fair share of bets. Whoa, this is interesting. Pitchers are similar to start. I think I'm just gonna go the under here when it's so big and people are actually on it. I can't get behind that. Under 11.5. That minus what was like 110. That's easy. I think you take that. Neither of these teams are crazy bats or anything. The pitchers aren't great, but I don't think they're gonna give up that like some crazy number of runs. I know we're in Colorado, but shoot, man, they would be scoring a lot more runs if you could just pull out 11.5 at any given day against the Cubs of all teams too. So, yeah, that was a quick guy. 2 more games on the day. Giants D-backs going to Arizona. Giants saved our ass in the first 5 yesterday, getting -184. I'm gonna put I think the Giants are gonna be the other part of that parlay. I'm thinking Milwaukee, San Francisco. What does that become? -184 for them. That's a nice +124. We take that. All right, there's a parlay for the day. And then bring us to the last game. Astros, Dodgers. Astros on the road in LA. The underdogs +152. Dodgers getting -180. Over unders at 8.5. McCullers starting for Houston and Buehler starting for LA. Astros are getting a little disrespected. I could see the Dodgers being favorited. Buehler is a better pitcher. 2.19 ERA, 0.9 WHIP, 1.27 in his last 3, 0.8 in his last 3. McCullers 3.23, 1.22 WHIP, 4.5, 1.17 in his last 3. But then the Houston bats are the only team that are better than the Dodgers bats. I'm gonna go ahead, maybe do something crazy here. Haven't been going for many dogs today, but I think this might be the one. I think when you get Houston at that big of plus money, you take it. What was that, 152? Yeah. I think that they could simply outscore the Dodgers. Buehler's a way, way better pitcher. But McCullers isn't terrible. Let me make sure I'm not making a huge mistake about this guy, but he hasn't been terrible. Lance McCullers Jr. He has been letting up quite a few in his last ones. Let's see the actual season though. Yeah. I don't know. That Houston money line is so tempting. No, I'm gonna stick with it. I don't know if I'm putting it out officially. I'm taking it personally because that's the kind of bet I like having fun with. And with that, that's the bets for the day. Therefore, that's the show for the day. August 3rd, we're all done here. Have a great Tuesday? That's right, Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday, fellas. VIP picks will be up on the site soon. Putting some more free plays out on Twitter. And you know how it goes. We'll be back tomorrow with more news and more picks. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day, fellas.